Yes, well, I started to say before that any education system is a hierarchy which starts from the Ministry of Education to the boards of education, to the administrators, then the principals, the teachers, and then the students. And the problem is getting issues such as gender identity into the curriculum and so on has to pass through all these stages to get down. And it has been difficult because some parents from various different ethnic groups don't understand trans people, and I'll say also the other LGBTQI people, and actually speak out against having it brought into the curriculum. The other problem is that the teachers themselves in the schools are in a position where, and I don't know so much out here, but I know in Ontario, that it makes it difficult for them to come out as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender role models. This in turn then means the students don't see role models in the school, and it makes it a little more unsafe for them. You can have signs up saying that this is a safe space and so on like that, but if the students really don't see role models reinforcing that, then it's tough for them to come out and be who they are. The other thing is, by having, say, what I call like a don't ask, don't tell policy, that means the students who are not as educated on the issues then think it's free for them to go and pick on and bully LGBT students.
And what about teachers who might be trans?
Yeah.
How receptive is the school system to hiring them, or is there a higher unemployment rate?
Well, just like in all categories, it's a lot more difficult when you're out as trans to have employment. It's difficult on a trans teacher because in a lot of cases, if the person's already transitioned, they don't want to reveal their past because of the backlash they might face from parents of their students, and then putting pressure on the school boards and so on. And the school boards themselves have difficulty dealing with the situation because they're trying to appease the parents. But it should be that they should be educating the parents. The school boards are educators, and right from the top down, we need to educate that trans people are everyday, ordinary people. And they're just as capable of teaching your child as anybody, and in fact can do a very good job. But if you just look at one part of the person, that they're trans, and only see that, then you don't see the whole person. And we put blinders on, and then we shut ourselves off from the beautiful people that we can be.
And how difficult has it been for you as a trans person?
It's had its ups and downs. My story is quite an interesting story, which actually I'm the subject of a documentary film which is going to come out next year called Transfixed. I'll just wait for these people to go by so the noise level goes down for real.
And so why were you selected for this documentary? Apart from you being so articulate.
Okay, apart from me being articulate, which is a bit of it's kind of funny that way because I'm a person on the autistic spectrum. I have what's called Asperger's syndrome. I was diagnosed in 2001. But as a young child, I had severe behavioral problems and gender identity issues, of which were unknown at that time. And it led to me being thrown out of school in grade 2, basically because I was picked on and bullied because I was different. My sense of gender at that time, I didn't really have one. Cats are cats, dogs are dogs, people are people. I saw people as people, and I was myself. But the records they have on me from back in the 1960s shows that I had a severe disturbance of sexual identity. And the doctors knew, my parents knew, my principal, my school, before I was thrown out in grade 2, they all knew that there was a gender issue. I was myself. I didn't even know any of this. But I portrayed as female, as a girl. But, you know, in the early 1960s, that was taboo. That was like, you know. So, it's about, the documentary's about my life growing up with the problems I had with gender identity and Asperger's syndrome, both of which were undiagnosed at that point. And later on, the fact that I launched a human rights case against the Ministry of Health in Ontario over the delisting of sex reassignment surgery coverage. I fought an 8-year battle through a human rights tribunal hearing, and I won my part of the case, and another 2 years of lobbying.
Was it appealed to the courts, or did they accept the tribunal ruling?
They accepted the tribunal, but I won my part of the case. But it didn't relist for everybody. But another 2 years of lobbying with the health minister, and we got it back for everybody in the province of Ontario. So, and it follows through to my surgery last year, and then my marriage to John.
And what type of work are you doing now?
I work as a head caretaker with the Toronto District School Board. I've been with them for 28 years. And I basically run the maintenance and the cleaning of the school during the day, keeping it running.
And what's your sense of the state of trans rights in British Columbia?
Well, surgery is covered in British Columbia now. That's been a bit of a battle. In the 1990s, for a while, it was delisted, and then a trans man fought and was able to get surgery relisted here. Then the BC government, in its wisdom, then cut funding to the health care here, and the gender identity clinic closed, which meant that people couldn't get approval for surgery even though the funding was on the books, so they couldn't get access. So then the BC government then, a couple of years later, or 2 or 3 years later, hired back a couple of people to sort of semi-run a means of getting approvals for surgery. Then went to the trouble of hiring a surgeon and to do surgeries here in BC, but then they could, because of cutbacks, the surgeon couldn't get OR time to do these surgeries. So people in BC still have to travel out of province to get their surgeries done, as far as I know. And as for human rights, gender identity, which is badly needed as a visible ground in all Canadian human rights codes, is not in the BC Human Rights Code. It was initially brought in 1998. A bill was brought forward, but then the Human Rights Commission was dismantled and the bill collapsed then. So another one has just been reintroduced just recently.
Yeah, Spencer Herbert, the NDP MLA, is advancing this now.
Yes, which is great. I don't know how receptive the government is here. I know there's been a change in leadership here. Christy Clark, I don't know what her position on it will be. I've heard mixed comments. I'm not going to say one way or the other, but I just hope that she is receptive and will take the time to learn about us and you know, get to know us before making a snap decision about who transsexual people are. And the one point that I will make, which I've also made to the Attorney General in Ontario, which has been pretty stubborn, and we're trying to get gender identity in Ontario. The fact is that to put it in the Human Rights Code doesn't cost any money. But by not doing it, you're costing the government and taxpayers money. Because when we have to bring cases forward for discrimination based on the fact that we don't have a visible ground, it ties up the court systems, it costs the government money, the taxpayers money. We don't want this. All we want is visibility so we can be recognized as persons, as equal persons.